After the Joint Sword 2024B exercises concluded, the Chinese carrier Liaoning vanished from public tracking, leaving analysts guessing her next move. Speculation ran rampant until October 31, 2024, when China's military made an unprecedented and extraordinary announcement. The People's Liberation Army Navy had assembled its two aircraft carriers, Liaoning and Shandong, for their first ever joint operation. The released images, which quickly went viral, spoke volumes. Two 66,000-ton carriers sailing in unison, flanked by a powerful fleet of 13 warships, including cutting-edge Type 55 and Type 52D destroyers. Now, it's undeniable. China is no longer backing down in the South China Sea. Growing capabilities. In the heavily contested waters of the Western Pacific, a fierce naval rivalry is growing. While the United States, with its unmatched fleet of 11 nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, remains the dominant force at sea, Beijing is rapidly catching up. Despite already having the world's largest overall fleet with nearly 400 ships and submarines, its recent push in carrier development is rewriting the rules. China's carrier journey began with the CV-16 Liaoning. Originally built as a Soviet Kuznetsov-class aircraft carrier named Varyag and bought in 1998, she was heavily modified and commissioned with the People's Liberation Army Navy, or PLAN, in September 2012. Liaoning has a displacement of about 66,000 tons and features a ski jump ramp for aircraft launches, allowing her to operate Chinese J-15 fighter jets, helicopters, and support aircraft. Primarily serving as a training and research platform for carrier operations, she's based at Qingdao on the eastern coast of Shandong province. Since her commissioning, the ship has been the cornerstone of Chinese carrier aviation doctrine. Once the massive nation's sole carrier, she performed all sea-based naval aviation pilots and crew training for years. The second carrier, CV-17 Shandong, is also a modified Kuznetsov-class design, but unlike her sister ship, she was constructed from scratch in China. With a similar displacement of around 70,000 tons, she also has other essential design enhancements, such as improved weapon systems, radar, and support equipment. Entering service with the PLAN in December 2019, the ship has been involved in numerous sea trials and training exercises and is homeported at Sanya Naval Base on Hainan Island. An unlikely journey. In early 2023, Liaoning entered a lengthy overhaul process for significant maintenance and upgrades that lasted over a year. Now back and better than ever, in September 2024, the most recent movements of the 66,000-ton Liaoning sparked significant interest among military analysts. First, the carrier was tracked traveling south from the East China Sea to the Philippine Sea in the middle of the month, as the Japanese Defense Ministry reported, beginning a series of maneuvers that kept observers on edge. From September 20th to October 1st, the carrier executed unique flight operations with carrier-based jets and helicopters in the waters east of the Philippines and west of Guam, at one point coming within just 559 miles of the United States' westernmost outpost. Then, Liaoning took an unexpected turn, leaving the Philippine Sea and moving southwest into the waters southeast of the Philippines and heading straight for the South China Sea, an area heavily rife with territorial disputes involving Beijing and Manila. In late September and early October, she led the Joint Sword 2024B naval drills, a series of exercises that involved a coordinated deployment of the PLA's Navy, Air Force, Army, and Rocket Force, focusing on sea-air combat readiness, blockades of key ports, and assaults on maritime and ground targets, meant as a stern warning to separatist forces advocating for Taiwan's independence. After completing these drills, Liaoning did not return north to her home base in Qingdao. Instead, her movements remained a mystery, leaving observers to speculate about her next deployment. Later that month, her new location shocked military analysts and citizens alike. Satellite imagery captured both carriers docked together at the Sanya Naval Base on Hainan Island. Side by side. On October 31st, 2024, the Chinese Navy announced they had conducted their first ever dual aircraft carrier operation, led by CNS Liaoning and CNS Shandong. In addition to the two carriers side by side for the very first time, incredible photographs released by the Chinese military show 13 warships sailing in a tight formation, including 3 Type 55 guided missile destroyers, each displacing 13,000 tons, 5 Type 52D destroyers, 1 Type 54A frigate, and 2 Type 901 fast combat supply ships. According to the Chinese Defense Ministry, the exercise was part of the Navy's annual training plan to improve its systematic combat strength. These unprecedented carrier operations introduce a new level of complexity to a fleet, allowing for the testing of logistical requirements and the coordination of communications among ships, with Liaoning and Shandong leveraging their respective strengths and complementing each other's capabilities. During the training, the formation moved to the Yellow Sea, East China Sea, and South China Sea before returning home safely, according to a post on the PLA Navy's official Weibo account. As expected, the service did not mention the exact date or details of the drills. Coincidentally, the Chinese dual aircraft carrier operations came as the United States Navy's aircraft carrier, USS George Washington, participated in a military exercise between American and Japanese forces in the Philippine Sea near Okinawa, Japan, from October 23rd to November 1st. New aircraft. The People's Liberation Army Navy made history by conducting its first ever dual aircraft carrier formation exercise in the South China Sea, featuring Liaoning and Shandong. But beyond this impressive show-off of naval strength, the photographs revealed another very exciting first: the groundbreaking debut of 2 new variants of China's carrier-capable J-15 Flying Shark, the J-15B and J-15D. The J-15B is a significant upgrade from the earlier J-15 and J-15A models. This single-seat variant is designed for catapult-assisted takeoff barrier-arrested recovery, or CATBAR operations. This new upgrade also comes with enhanced features, including a revamped cockpit and an active electronically scanned array, or AESA radar, situating it in the 4.5 generation class of fighter aircraft. The other unveiling during these drills was the J-15D, an electronic warfare, or EW variant, positioned as China's answer to the US EA-18G Growler. The prototype first flew in late 2016 and is distinguished by its unique electronic countermeasure, or ECM pods, on its wingtips. This unique variant has removed the standard infrared search and track sensor and cannon, optimizing it solely for electronic warfare missions, and highlights the increasing importance of these operations in 21st century military development. As a Chinese military expert who did not want to be named told the Eurasian Times, quote, "All advanced militaries in the world are expanding EW capabilities, and China is no exception." Will they, won't they? After concluding the first dual carrier op for China, Liaoning returned via the Taiwan Strait to her home port in Qingdao, while Shandong remained in her home port near the South China Sea. The appearance of these aircraft is noteworthy, as the introduction of China's third carrier, Fujian, is rapidly approaching. First unveiled in June 2022, the aircraft carrier Fujian is China's biggest and most powerful aircraft carrier to date, with a displacement of reportedly more than 80,000 tons. This new model, built to meet China's growing needs, dwarfs the 2 existing carriers, putting it in the league of supercarriers, with only the United States Navy operating aircraft carriers bigger than the Fujian. Unlike her predecessors, Liaoning and Shandong, which use ski jump ramps, Fujian features an electromagnetic catapult launch system akin to the US Navy's latest carriers, allowing for more efficient and powerful aircraft launches. Currently undergoing sea trials as of 2024, it is expected to be commissioned in the following decade. With all these latest moves, there's no denying that China has been looking to upgrade its carrier operations amid escalating tensions in the Indo-Pacific region. This long-running conflict between China and Taiwan traces back to the Civil War, when Chiang Kai-shek's nationalist forces were defeated by Mao Zedong's communists and retreated to the island in 1949. Since then, the two have operated under separate governments. According to Lieutenant Colonel Fu Zhengnan, a researcher at the Chinese Academy of Military Sciences, these drills could, quote, switch from training to combat at any time. If Taiwan separatists provoke once, the PLA's operation around the island will make their first move. Only days after the exercise, yet another mysterious ship made her rounds online. A new ship. In early November 2024, satellite imagery shows a strange vessel with a large open flat top currently under construction at Guangzhou Shipyard International on Longshui Island in southern province of Guangdong. This new vessel has a somewhat unusual shape and size, much smaller than China's previous naval aircraft carriers, even more than the Type 75 amphibious assault ships used by Beijing's Navy. To many experts, this latest move may suggest China could be building the world's first civilian aircraft carrier as an oceanographic research vessel. The potential first of its kind could increase Beijing's already rapidly expanding collection, as China has been producing increasingly advanced warships at a frantic pace in a massive effort to match and perhaps even surpass U.S. carrier technology. With this new vessel taking shape and Fujian preparing for deployment, it's clear this is just the beginning of China's biggest effort yet, challenging the status quo in the Indo-Pacific.